We are back. Thank you so much. You guys pop back in. And I think we left off where? We left off at victim stance. That's what we were doing? Victim stance, right? So we looked at in emotional immature people, these behaviors show up as one, deflection, minimizing, gaslighting, and we're going to do the last one here, victim stance. And I was saying that for people who are emotionally immature people, somehow they always end up being the one who has been wronged. Nobody has the right to even feel like they were being wronged. For the emotionally immature people, they're always victim. The world is against them. And so those are just 4 of the things that you can realize and see when you're dealing with emotionally immature people. And then remember, emotionally mature people, because they deflect so much, because they minimize so much, because they gaslight so much, because they have victim stance so much, they really don't know how to deal with people's emotions. They shut down, they leave, they don't talk. It's like you're living in a house with them, and you know, it's like you don't exist. Maybe the only time that the both of you come together, you have some kind of meaningful conversation or meaningful contact, is maybe having some food or sexual activities. You know, many people out here who are having sex with their spouse, and they're like seriously emotionally impaired. They still don't know how to talk. They still don't know how to have a conversation, right? They run away. They just don't know how to facilitate when it comes to emotionality, right? So that's pretty much what you have to deal with when you're dealing with emotionally immature people. All right, so after that, let's look at something else. So we did the deflection, the minimizing, the gaslighting, and we did the victim stance. So another thing we need to understand too is that emotionally immature people, when they're confronted with their own behavior, they're going to always deny, attack, and reverse. Listen, so deny, they didn't do nothing wrong. Because of course they don't have the capacity to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have the capacity to think deeply, to chop it up. You get what I'm saying? They don't have the emotional capacity to really sit down and differentiate and kind of put in the work.
Yeah.
So they will always deny that they're doing anything wrong, and that's very obvious because they're not in a space where they can say that they did anything, you know, wrong, because of course they're emotionally. And they will all attack the person who brought it up. You ever feel like, I don't know, some of you might go through this where you're talking to your spouse, and because you bring something, why did you bring that up? And, you know, they don't want you to bring up stuff that they don't want to talk about because they're shying away from it. And then they reverse the roles. Suddenly they are the victims again, and you are the aggressor. So you can't win with emotionally immature people. I pray for you guys who are in that space. I don't know what you're going to do. I just don't know. I think part of it is that you're going to have to get counseling. You're going to have to find a way how to get help. Yeah. Because that's going to be your life for the rest of your life. And I think you just have to make a deliberate choice to get help. Because dealing with somebody who is emotionally immature is not easy. It's just not easy. It's really, it's like pulling teeth. So being in a relationship with emotionally immature people can feel like a one-sided, negative, draining conversation. It can feel like you're walking on eggshells. Oh my goodness, right? All right. You just can feel like, yeah, you're walking on eggshell, which might just aptly define your interactions with them. Your experience and feelings are often discounted and ignored by the. That's the place to. That's where I'm getting this from. Yes, so you could put that up there.
Yes, this is the
Mindful Counseling Center, and they put this statement out. So I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Yes.
They say being in a relationship with emotionally immature people can feel like a one-sided, negative, draining conversation. Wow. What you feel like you're walking on eggshell might aptly define your interactions with them. Your experience and feelings are often discounted and ignored by emotionally mature people. Yet they may provoke discord in your relationship and try to gaslight you due to feelings dismissed themselves. All right? Or that, listen, their reality is being questioned. This dynamic can make you feel like you cannot think straight, often referred to as brain scramble. That's why I choose this. Okay, so that is what brain scramble is. Over time, due to extended dealings with emotionally immaturity in a relationship, you may develop, listen to this, this is very important. And I didn't know that research out there says that when you deal with emotionally immature people, ultimately you can develop depression, anxiety, or other mental health conditions. This is huge, folks. And this is why I'm glad you said, let's do this. Because this is what the research is showing, that over time, this is what I'm telling you, you feel like you're going crazy. And now you are in a space now where you are not emotionally healthy. And now you are projecting onto people because you are being projected on. Let me say that again. Over time, due to the fact that you are dealing extensively and extendedly with emotionally immature people in your relationship, what the research is showing is that you yourself will become depressed, you will be filled with anxiety or other mental health conditions. And it's because you're dealing with somebody who is subpar. I'm sorry to put it that way in the relationship, right? You ever see some people just develop anxiety, they can't do certain things. Where did that come from? When they were growing up, they were never that way. But when you put yourself with somebody who is emotionally immature, the research is showing that you run the risk of being, number one, depressed, number two, filled with anxiety. You get angry easily. Your whole mental health is off balance.
To navigate that world now that person has.
This is why I keep saying to you guys, when you are getting married, please make sure you know who you're getting married to. Spend some time. Yeah, I know the flesh is nice, and he might very well have a really big penis, or she might really well have a nice vagina, but those things, no, I'm being honest, because a lot of people are sacrificing their life on the altar of the flesh, and then when they get these men and women who have good rhythmic and their algorithms are really cool, but they go in the relationship realizing that these people can't even communicate. Yes.
Yeah.
They can't talk. They don't know how to lead you. They don't know how to feed you. They don't know how to work with you. They don't know how to start the conversations that gets, the fire going. They are lacking. But the research is showing when you put yourself with somebody who is emotionally immature, you are setting yourself up to deal with depression, anxiety. You're setting yourself up to deal with other mental health conditions. And I got to tell you, that it's important that you understand this so you can take preventative measures to get proper self-care.
Absolutely.
If you find that you have somebody who is immature, you're going to need proper self-care. Don't take that for granted. And that's why you probably have to do journaling. You probably have to do that, like they say,
mindfulness.
Mindfulness exercises, or you have to find an outlet to express yourself, or maybe a group. You can go in a group setting. That is very good for people who are dealing with, immature people, that they have to find groups around in their communities. You have these groups that you can tap into. Talk to your mental health provider. Talk to, look at your, a lot of times you can go in your local directory or community directory, and they do have these places that you have, these group gatherings or group get-together of people. Sometimes they have a group that deals with domestic violence, or a group that deals with, different sexuality, or a group that deals with, different groups.
Whatever
you understand?
need,
but whatever you need to do, you have to practice. You have to get
Don't
those
just take it.
Exactly.
Be proactive.
This is dangerous. This is really
guard yourself from that.
I'm glad you said that, because the Bible says guard the heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. You want to know why some people are irritable? You want to know why some people are just short? You want to know why some people can't even talk? Because they're dealing with a lot of depression. They're dealing with people who are off mentally. And so that creates. And here's another thing I found today, but I really wanted to be prepared.
And it's from throughthevalleytherapy.com.
Guys, throughthevalleytherapy.com.
It's out
thank
there
you so much.
if you are interested.
If you're interested, just check out their webpage. This is where I pulled this from. And it talks about how to deal with handling emotionally immature people, and I really like how to handle them now. We talked about some signs. Here's how you handle them. This is important for those who are in relationships that are dealing with, we're giving you some psychological, psycho-emotional tools, right? The number one tool to really handle some of these things, to handle this, is your word. Get in your word. That's a big part of it too. Study your word. Deal with Bible text that talks about character and calmness and soft words. You understand what I say? A soft word turns away anger, but grievous words, read Bible text that, you see what I'm saying? It talks about how you regulate your mood and stuff like that. The Bible is
that
filled
one-on-one time
with
devotion.
God. But in addition to that, here is some of the things that you need to understand when you're dealing with a person who is essentially emotionally immature. Number one, Lois, I'm going to let you.
It says regulate before you respond. Pause, breathe, pray. Don't match their chaos.
That is important.
Slow, deep breathing restores access to your prefrontal cortex, your logic and empathy center. This is so funny. We were talking about this last Sabbath in our ministry, and the young ladies did such a great job about mental health. Dr. Paula, Jane, and therapist Nicolette. They were talking about these mental coping mechanisms, and we talked about
deep breathing,
and the importance. And I'm so happy that this was here. It says when you take slow, deep breath, it restores access to your prefrontal cortex. This is where your logic and empathy center lies.
Yeah, it's very important, and that's why we chose this today, because it's important. Yeah, we get the spiritual aspect of it, but we understand that people have to live with this stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, this is living with people who literally behave this way. So yeah, and remember, I will always say journal, journal. I love that. Journal, you know, put your thoughts down.
All right. Number 2 is keep communication factual and brief.
Yeah.
Emotionally immature people
Look
twist
for words. Yeah, they look for words to twist.
Stick to logistics,
Yeah.
not feelings.
Yeah, so when you're dealing with an immature person, it is logics that gets them.
Yeah.
In other words, they cannot go around the logic and facts of the thing. The box is wrapped in Christmas decorations. It's right in front of them. They can't get around that. So you have to be logical with them, right? Because they will find a way.
Very brief.
Yeah, to twist your words. The longer you go on and try to, you know, deep dive with them, you're going to lose because they're going to twist stuff. Stick to what? Logics, not how you feel. And that's where a lot of people get lost and confused and get very frustrated because now they're coming out. I feel like you're coming out of feelings. Emotionally immature people don't understand. They're going to feast off your feelings, but they will run away from your logics. They'll feast off your feelings, but they cannot attack your logics. The logic is this: the car is black. Tell me, where do you see the car being brown? It's black. Yeah, the fridge. You open the
Stick to
fridge.
the facts.
Yes,
Stick to the facts.
Don't go. Keep going. This is really good. I think this is-
Number
yeah.
3,
Yeah.
don't jade. Justify, argue, defend, or explain. I like that.
What is it? What's it?
Jade, J-A-D-E. Don't justify, don't argue, don't defend, and don't explain.
Jade. Don't. So give them that again. Jade.
Jade.
Justify, argue, defend, or explain.
Nice.
It's a CBT boundary
So
tool.
CBT here means what?
Cognitive behavior therapy
tool,
boundary tool.
that CBT therapists use. Go ahead.
The more you explain, the more material they have to.
Twist. Now you see why I have to keep it simple. Very simple.
The more
Because
things
they're looking for
they'll
stuff,
twist. Oh, that's interesting.
They're looking for stuff to talk about.
Oh, Avery Mark says, what if their facts are not correct?
Yes.
Oh dear.
What if whose?
Their facts are not
Correct.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's pretty interesting because they're looking. I see what she's saying. You know, what if the emotionally immature person facts are not correct? Well, that's
You have to prove it somehow.
you have to.
I
You
don't
have to
know.
say it. What you're saying is not factual. They're creating alternate facts. And that's what they're doing now.
Oh my
So now
God.
when they can't deal with the facts, they create alternate facts. And so now you have to say, no, this is the fact. They're not going to let go of their fact. There's no way you can get them to let go of their fact. But what I'm saying is that you have to hold up what the fact is, right?
But
And
don't
just
you
keep-
agree that you have to somehow gather evidence?
Yeah, you might have to say, okay, just give me a second. Let me go and put and show you
Yeah.
1 + 1 is
Equals
2.
2.
Yeah, 2 plus,
Yeah.
2 is 4.
Oh, wow.
And that's a very good one. So the issue is now how you deal with an emotionally immature person when they have their alternative facts. Well, I think Lois is right. You don't want to spend too much time proving to them, but you definitely want to show them that, well, this is where it came from. This is the A, B, and C of it. I don't know how you
got
there.
there.
I'm not sure.
But this is what
it states
is here.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And you do that.
I guess what we're saying is
You have to point out
Yes.
the fact
Yeah.
and not his
or her
version
version of the facts.
is what the facts.
The actual fact
The
is.
crash took place 5 p.m. It did not take place 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
It took place 5 p.m. That's what the reading here says. That's what the news says. That's what my watch says. You came in at 5 o'clock this morning. The clock alarmed. I was up. I saw it, and I took a picture of it. And maybe now I understand how you deal with that. Now, now the Lord gave it to me. When you're dealing when you're dealing with people who create their alternative facts, you have to have your own receipts.
Yes.
Receipts not going to be important. That means you're going to have to document. That means you're going to have to take pictures. That means you're going to have to record. That means you're going to have to journal. At 5:14 p.m. I wrote this down in my journal that you said A, B, C, D. This was the fact. So with people who are emotionally immature, facts are going to be important. That you have your receipts for what you're saying.
Very brief
with what
in
you're
your
saying.
discussions.
So I like the word Jane. I think everybody should know that. What's that?
Yes.
Justify, argue, defend.
Argue, defend, and explain.
Nice.
Number 4, name the behavior, not the person. Try this conversation feels unproductive instead of you're manipulative.
Yes.
It's trauma-informed and keeps the focus on safety.
Yes, and you know,
I like
and
that.
you know, Lois, it's very important. This is really big because sometimes we like to attack people. Oh, you are this, you are that. But you know what? Notice what it's saying here. Instead of saying, you look, it's so important. Try these conversations feels unproductive instead of accusations and
you're manipulative.
You're this, you're that, you are doing this. You know, right now I feel like this is really unproductive. And don't call names. Just stay away from names, right?
The behavior. It says name the behavior.
Yes, absolutely. And remember, I learned something this week, and I wanted to throw it at you guys. That a lot of people are engaged in trauma bonding. And when we engage in trauma bonding, a lot of relationships are engaged. It's two people dealing with trauma. And so trauma bonding is very, very prevalent, especially nowadays. It is important that we understand whether we are bonding with someone from a trauma perspective because we've not dealt with our own trauma. And so when we see somebody else's trauma, sometimes that appeals to us and we bond with them, trauma to trauma. A lot of people trauma bonding. And so a lot of times because we trauma bond, here's my point, we don't recognize how emotionally, you know, though that person is not emotionally mature because we're bonding trauma-wise, and that takes away the focus from what we need to know. You have to be careful who you bond with.
Absolutely.
And know how you're bonding, why you're bonding. If it is even important that you bond, because sometimes we do trauma bonding. Sometimes you can have an episode going on in your life, and I can have an episode going on in my life, and we meet, and the episodes are what takes center stage of the relationship, not the ability to determine who you really are, what you really stand for. Are you emotionally mature? Can we exist together? You know, so bonding becomes sometimes when you need something that I want, right? And I have something that you want. And so we bond at that level. All I'm simply saying is that, notice that it's trauma informed. I just brought that up so people can understand that trauma bonding sometimes hides the focus of understanding what really is emotional maturity. All right, keep going. What we got?
Number 5, document
What did I say?
everything.
What did I say?
It's not about you gotcha.
Yeah.
It's about clarity.
Yes.
Nervous system peace.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Nervous system peace.
Facts are your what?
Your friend
Thank
when
you.
emotions get murky.
This is how you deal with people who are emotionally what? Immature. Facts are your friend. I keep telling you because they can't get around facts.
Facts, yeah.
They will try, but the facts will stare them in the face. And they will always try to bring up something other than the facts. Notice what it says. Document. That's what I mean. Bring your receipts.
I say timestamp.
Okay. Bring your stamps. Whatever you gotta do.
Timestamp on the computer, it gives you the time of when things happen, like when you put things in.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Number 6, set limits and follow through. Boundaries without consistency
Are just suggestions.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. This article is the bomb.com.
And you know, a lot of times, sometimes people are in really, what I call it now, emotionally traumatized relationships. And there's a lot of time people don't understand, Lois, that these relationships are abusive relationships, right? And so they have lived in it for such a long time that they do not know how to set boundaries and they do not know how to follow through with
Yeah.
those boundaries.
Yeah.
So now what the couple does, they wing stuff. I'm winging it. I'm just surviving with him or her through today. Tomorrow they get up and they start back the same toxic patterns. What this is saying is that we have to organize in these kind of relationships where you have emotionally immature people. You have to organize yourself and you have to follow through with that organization.
Because the truth is, you're the emotionally mature one.
Yes.
And so you're going to have to put in the work. You're
Yes.
going to have to document everything. You're going to
Yes.
have to set boundaries and follow through with those things that you've put in place. And, you know, you're going to have to do the extra work because they can't do it.
Absolutely.
They can't do it.
Pretty critical, I think. And then 7, there's a last one.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, there's another one. Man, we're running out of time. We have run
Last
out of time.
one, guys, and then we gotta go. Remember, it's not personal.
Because if now that's
It's not personal.
Now if you take it personal, you're gonna lose the battle
I
completely.
love what this says. Their reaction is a mirror of their capacity,
Yes.
not
Yes.
your worth.
It's about their
Their
capacity, their inability.
I love it.
Yeah, this
It's
is so
not
powerful.
personal.
I promise you, if you guys put this into
Love it. Love
let
it.
me,
Let's get, if you want to read this and keep it for yourself, let me
Yeah.
give you the people again and the name of the article. Here it is. ThroughTheValleyTherapy.com.
you guys go there, read that article.
Yes, and it's entitled How to Handle Emotionally Immature People.
We got a lot
please
more.
go there.
We got a lot more, and I feel
We're
like-
coming with part
I think we got to
3.
do a part 3.
Because this is a big one.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know,
It is, it is.
unfortunately, we have
Yeah.
immature people in marriages.
Yeah, and I think it's important for.
It's just
and let
what
me
it
say
is.
this to couples out there everywhere. It's okay to examine yourself too and see where you
are-
fall short
yes,
in terms
exactly.
of emotional maturity. And here's the thing. Let me explain to you something. People who don't put themselves through these kind of exercise, they themselves are emotionally mature. If you find yourself cannot pick up these things, cannot navigate these principles, it's a lack of emotional maturity. So you get what I'm saying? Is like you have to be able to say, where do I fall short? How do I underpin and undergird
Yeah.
this kind of behavior
Yeah.
in my relationship? And if you are doing that, that's also a sign of emotional immaturity. If you continue to deal with the person other than what has been said here and what the experts have suggested and what God has said, you're going to find yourself continually going down a slippery slope. I promise you, this is a very important discussion, and I pray that this has been healthy for you. I pray that this has been transformational for you. I pray that you have learned something from this. I
have learned
a
so
lot from
much.
this, but I think this is very, very powerful.
Yes.
Because as Lois said, so many relationships are struggling along this corridor and they need help. I mean, in my relationship, it's
a daily
examination.
Daily.
Yeah, daily. It's not like
you
we
don't
sit down
come
here
to
and
the
tell you,
point
yeah.
where you say, because we're hitting 30 years, believe it or not. I don't even understand how.
That's not true. But anyway.
But anyway, every day you learn something new about each other and how to navigate this marriage. And you've been with this person for so long.
And emotional maturity is a learned. Once you possess the fundamentals, then the rest of the way in adulthood, it's now becomes a behavior. It becomes a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
It's something that you engage in. It's a growing thing. You grow because there's always things that you're learning, you're dropping, you're adopting. It's adaptation. It's regulation. It's acceleration. There's just so much that goes along with it. So, but the foundation has to be there. And if the foundation is not there, it's going to be very, very difficult to maneuver the relationship. We are growing every day. I'm learning a lot more about my emotional state of being and how I reflect on that. I like the idea of being emotionally mature. It says something about you as a man and a woman. And it makes
everyone in a marriage should achieve
this level.
Emotional maturity. That should be your
it's a
goal
growing process too.
in a marriage.
Absolutely.
Not to remain emotionally immature. Because we both come in with immature behaviors.
Yeah.
But you have to get to the point where you challenge yourself to go higher. And I love this point before we go. Remember, it's not personal.
Yeah.
It's not personal.
And that's a problem for some people because they take it personal. And that's where you have the tit for tat because now you feel attacked. Now you feel like you're attacking my self-worth. But listen, look what he said. It's not about you. It is about the person's capacity. Not your worth.
Of their capacity.
Do not stay in that relationship. Listen, let me look in the camera. Do not stay in that relationship and make yourself feel like it's about your worth. It's about that person's incapacity or their capacity not to understand growth, not to understand what it means to grow up and be a man or grow up and be a woman. It's not about you. Don't make it about you because it's not your worth. It's the person next to you. All right? Hey, I think this is good.
Yeah.
I think we did what we had to do apart from the interruption.
So remember, before we go, your marriage matters.
All right.
Until next time, everyone.
Out of here. Peace.